welcome back to Show Me Audits. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at JC. Now, JC runs JC News Outlet on YouTube, and a link's down in the description. Back in November of 2023, JC was at Ava Police Department to file a couple complaints on some officers. Before he could finish his business, Lieutenant Butterworth appeared, and the interaction became tense, to say the least. The tense situation only got more tense when JC went to the parking lot. There, he ran into Chief Overcast, the leader of Ava's police department. Now, the chief can be described a lot of ways, but professional won't be among them. Racist, homophobic, backwoods, maybe, but professional, definitely not. In the following days, JC, through his investigation of the Ava Police Department, discovered some interesting rumors, or maybe even facts. Now, these rumors wouldn't be of public concern, really, if not for the lieutenant being part of the Ava Police Department. But the lieutenant is part of the Ava Police, so JC wanted to do a little story about them. That is where things get a little scary. Let's start with the Ava Police Department. Here's the visit.
It's the Ava Police Department, y'all. Let's go check it out.
Hey, can I help you?
Just a minute. Yes, sir. I need 2 officer complaint forms.
Statement forms or complaint forms? You need to shut that off too.
Complaint forms.
You film me, shut it off.
No, sir.
Okay.
Complaints.
And who are you, sir?
None of your business.
Okay, get out of the police department then. We're not allowed to film inside the police
Are
department.
you trying to,
You can fill that out.
you trying to deny my right to, I need another complaint form.
Well, you can fill that out and return it, but you're not allowed to film inside. Go ahead and step out the door.
What's the law on that?
It's in the state law. Step out
It's
the door.
not in the state law.
Step out the door or you
Or
will
what?
be escorted out.
Escorted? You gonna put your hands on me?
Yes, I will if you do not comply.
I need a few auditors here with me. I need some more cameras because where I'm at, the live, over there, live, it doesn't come in good and it'll kick out, you know, and you miss stuff. So I have to record static. And it's dangerous when you don't have witnesses, especially if you're going alone. And I don't get scared too often, but I was scared the other day, y'all. I was scared I had to get up out of there.
What we just saw in the video clip and heard JC likely would make what the lieutenant did in the office reasonably fit an assault in the 4th degree. In that, a person commits the offense of assault in the 4th degree if, number 3, the person purposely places another person in apprehension of immediate physical injury. Now, this of course is just my opinion, so take it as you will. But if the average person were to say that to a cop, they would find they would be charged faster than a flash on Instagram.
Public building. Where's the sign that says no filming? There is not one up here.
It's evident that JC is upset, and that's because he's being kicked out of an apparently empty police station for having his camera recording. And there were no signs. The only individuals present in that building were Dispatcher Dave and Lieutenant Butterworth, who are both city employees. JC was only wanting to get his complaints filed and record the process. Although he might have been a bit snappy, he wasn't at all belligerent or abusive. Regardless, Lieutenant Butterworth thought it'd be appropriate to remove JC from the premise and use force if necessary.
You gonna put your hands on me?
Yes, I will if you
You
do
will?
not comply. Yes, I will if you do
will?
not comply.
And like I said earlier, when JC gets to the parking lot, things get a lot scarier.
David 9 Sam.
Yeah, go run it. See who it comes back to, dumbass. What's your name and badge number?
What's your name? What's your badge number?
What's your name and badge number?
What's your badge number?
None of your business. I'm a private citizen.
Like a cop?
Do I?
Do I look like a cop?
You got a name and badge number? You gonna identify?
I ain't got nothing. You gonna identify? Who are you?
None of your
Who are
business.
you?
None of your
What's
business.
your name, boy?
None of your business, boy.
What's your name, boy?
None of your business. Look at this,
Hey, that's
y'all.
a nice little do-rag you got up there, man.
You like that, do you?
Look like a faggot.
All right, get out of here, punk.
JC posted that visit to the Ava Police Department to his YouTube channel, and a day or two later he woke up to find that the video had made some rumblings in the community. Now, JC hadn't just been sitting around those days, waiting on something to happen. He'd been researching a story, and he was about to update his subscribers, as is expected.
Really gonna be a banger, y'all. It's gonna be a banger. Wait until you see what's coming up. They didn't like me filming in the police station. They followed me in my car, called me names, was fouled. None of them would identify. I didn't know it at the time, but the chief come out and, yeah, it was just a big mess. Anyway, apparently that chief took a 2-week vacation. I heard he took a 2-week vacation, and I'm not sure why. Nobody will answer questions. I did a records request over the phone to find out why, but I pretty much got the runaround, and my records request was due yesterday that I did file. The lady called me and asked me if she could have 3 more days, and I told her sure.
Now, throughout this entire live stream, JC has been interacting with his subscribers through the chat, and he'd informed them that he had a story working with Lieutenant Butterworth, and asked him if he thought that maybe he should call the lieutenant to maybe hear his side of the story. The chat responded overwhelmingly yes, and JC decided that let's do this.
Let's do it right now. What does the chat think? Put a 1 in here if you think I ought to call the lieutenant. Let's do this.
Please.
Hey, is Chief in?
He's not in today. Would you like to go to his phone? You can leave him a message.
No, that's all right. Is the lieutenant or the next ranking officer?
They're actually both out of the office, but once again, I can go to the phone. They can get the call when they come in. I'll tell them you have a phone call if you'd like me to send you back there.
I'll just try back later, I guess.
Okay.
What's your name?
David, I'm one of the dispatchers.
Oh, right on, David. I think I met you before.
You might have. All right. I will let him know. If you don't want to send a message, I'll let him know you called.
All right, well, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about the lieutenant starring in a gay porn video?
No, I did not. I'm going to hang up.
You want me to drop?
JC would continue with the live stream for about another 15 minutes, covering a variety of subjects, not just the Ava Police Department situation. But that's not where the story ends. You see, shortly after the live stream aired, JC was charged with a felony. The Douglas County prosecutor, Matthew Weatherman, would bring a charge of felony harassment against JC. Wondering how? You're not alone. Reading the statute raises concerns about constitutionality of this harassment statute. How does it not violate Article 1, Section 8 of the Missouri Constitution that provides for freedom of speech for all Missourians? Or Amendment 1 of the United States Constitution that protects, among other rights, the freedom of the press and the freedom of speech? Well, the 2022 case of State v. Collins, the Missouri Supreme Court examined the misdemeanor statute, which is identical to the felony statute of harassment. The Missouri Supreme Court held that the statute was constitutional because a person must act without good cause. So, the statute is limited to conduct wholly outside of the First Amendment's protection. Sounds good. So, for JC to be charged, the state would, or should I say should, have to allege some conduct that is wholly outside of the First Amendment's protection. Not just repeat the phrase, acted without good cause. Because if the courts allowed otherwise, they would be allowing the chilling of speech, or the chill of the free press. In fact, a warning was sounded by the United States Supreme Court in the case of Counterman v. Colorado, decided in June of 2023, where Justice Kagan, writing for the majority, wrote,
Fear of mistaking whether a statement is a threat, fear of the legal system getting that judgment wrong, and fear of incurring legal costs, all may lead a speaker to swallow words that are in fact not true threats. Insistence on a subjective element in unprotected speech cases, no doubt, has a cost, even as it lessens chill of protected speech. It makes prosecution of otherwise proscribable and often dangerous communications harder.
that holding by the U.S. Supreme Court recognizes that a law's chilling effect is not mitigated by having your day in court, that the possible wrongful judgment of what the content of the speech meant or the cost of mounting a defense is chilling to the First Amendment. Laws should be tailored narrowly to avoid such chill, and by extension, charges should be scrutinized very carefully, which in JC's case was obviously not done. In fact, when you look at the probable cause statement given to Weatherman by the Douglas County Deputy Deering, you'll see that Weatherman either ignored or simply missed some of the key facts. In the charging document given to the court, Weatherman stated that JC made threats, but the probable cause sheet says that it's others that made those threats. In fact, the probable cause specifically states that the foundation of harassment is the posting of the videos on YouTube, TikTok, and other social media platforms. By charging JC, Prosecutor Weatherman slaps the face of the Supreme Court in the decision of New York Times Company v. Sullivan of 1964. This case cemented much of what allows our free press to operate without the fear of the exact retaliatory actions JC is now facing. And a few of the citations within the case that are relevant to JC's situation are as follows. What a state may not constitutionally bring about by means of a criminal statute is likewise beyond the reach of its civil law of libel. That would go both ways. If the New York Times v. Sullivan forbids a civil action, it would also forbid a criminal prosecution. And then, if neither factual error nor defamatory content suffices to remove the constitutional shield from the criticism of official conduct, the combination of the two elements is no less inadequate, and the state rule of law is not saved by its allowance of the defense of truth. The court feels so strongly that the criticism of public officials is a critical part of democracy that even false and defamatory statements have a place within the public discourse. The Supreme Court, within the Sullivan case, quoted a Kansas Supreme Court ruling. It is of the utmost consequence that people should discuss the character and qualifications of the candidates for their suffrage. The importance to the state and to society of such discussion is so vast, and the advantages derived are so great, that they more than counterbalance the inconvenience of private persons whose conduct may be involved, and the occasional injury to the reputation of individuals must yield to the public welfare, although at times such injury may be great. The public benefit from publicity is so great, and the chance of injury to the private character is so small, that such discussion must be privileged. The prosecutor apparently never made it to class on the day that these cases were discussed, or if he did, he's just making a choice to ignore them. Now, whether it's Houston v. Hill that allows for verbal criticism of police that goes far beyond what is normally tolerated to the general public, or New York Times v. Sullivan, it's obvious the courts expect police to have a higher tolerance of sometimes rude, untrue criticism. As public officials, they do give up some of the protections afforded to the general public. And so is the case with Lieutenant Butterworth. Speaking of Prosecutor Weatherman, Missouri's Ethic Rules for Lawyers has a candor policy. It is my belief the prosecutor has violated this policy. He misled the court by saying that JC made the threats when actually others had done it. And he failed to disclose that the statements that were published on a YouTube channel under JC News Now. Critical things to me. Here's the process I'm going to follow to make my complaint on him. Now, any person that has a complaint against any attorney is welcome to file them here. So, if you feel that you are upset as I am, there's the process. I'll keep you updated as to what's going on with JC, but in the meantime, get over to his page. It's linked in the description. Tell him I sent you, and show him all the support you can. He's going through a lot right now, and it's all for just recording a police officer who got upset about it. So get over there, like and subscribe on my page on your way out, share it, and I'll see you on the next one.